Here at FanFest, this is where you're going to enter for Back to the Future. Back to the Future? Wait, we're going to Hill Valley? Yep, that's right. The actual location where they film Back to the Future. You'll get online in the studio tour area. And guess what? They're going to travel you back to the future, 1955, where you'll be going to the Under the Sea dance. And of course, you're going to be seeing Marty and other characters. You just got to take the tram over and you can stay there as long as you want. The rumor is it's about an hour long to see all the different little performances. And yeah, if you guys are super excited for Back to the Future, let us know in the comments below. You can meet Doc, Einstein, Marty, and other Hill Valley residents down here for FanFest. Like literally down there. Like right there where I'm pointing you, behind the strip club. Warner Brothers right there, and right here, FanFest. This is where Back to the Future will be. If you're excited for Back to the Future, let us know.
We are out of here. We're leaving our theme park behind. We're heading into our real world. He says hi back. We're very lucky to have him. I don't know how to drive this thing, so without him, this would be a walking tour today. And I have one more person to introduce to you all. It's my co-host. You might recognize him as the star of The Tonight Show, starring Jimmy Fallon. You guessed it, it's Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, hey there. You made it. Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure that you get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guide.
Sydney.
And the greatest drive.
Jose.
They're the best. I love them. Even though
Sydney.
both be $5. I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
That's right, Jimmy. Thank you very much. We do have some safety rules to go over today. First, if you need guest assistance or have a medical emergency, if you drop something of value on the side of the tram, or if you need film or video issues, reach up and grab the red emergency cord that runs along the center of the ceiling of the tram, and I'll be back to assist you as soon as it's safe to do so. Otherwise, during the entire tour, please remain seated, keeping your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times. The studio is private property, and if at any time during the tour you drop your phone or you just can't wait to use the restroom, pull the cord and remain seated. Please no smoking of any kind during the tour. Be prepared. Our tour today features loud noises, fire effects, and many water effects, so you may get wet. There are also sudden tram movements during the tour, so secure your personal belongings and hold on. Finally, for your safety and those around you, please do not use selfie sticks while you're on board. Alright, my friends, if we take a look out the right-hand side of our tram here, you'll see some movie posters. This is what we call our Universal movie timeline. Here at Universal, we've made over 8,000 films, so this is just a small handful of some of our favorites. If you take a look at the Universal logo on top of each of these posters, you might notice that throughout the years it starts to change. We did that to show the evolution of our logo from the very beginning back in 1915 all the way up until modern times. Now on March 15th, 1915, our founder Carl Lemley opened the gates of Universal Studios to the public, and we were dubbed the strangest city in the world. Here at Universal, we truly are a city. We have our very own fire station, sheriff substation, emergency services, and even our own city. The only things that make our city any different from yours are that we have no permanent residents here, and we're dedicated entirely to making movies. Now, when it comes to making movies and TV shows, there's 3 phases of production. We have a pre-production phase, which is things like writing, budgeting, and casting. Production is any active filming, and post-production is things like editing and sound and visual effects. Here at Universal, we have the facilities to do all of it. We're now entering our front lot, which is home to most of our sound stages here at Universal. A sound stage is an empty warehouse-type building with almost a sound proof. We can construct any type of set we need to inside our sound stages, including the inside of the building with like the outside. The first sound stage you'll see to our left is sound stage 12. It's our oldest and largest sound stage here on our lot. It's about 30,000 square feet on the inside of the building for lighting. Stage 12 is formerly home to the voice on NBC. There's also the site of Frankenstein's laboratory, Dracula's castle, and some of our classic monster movies. For those of you that visited us last year during our Halloween Horror Nights event, for the first time ever, guests got to walk around inside Soundstage 12. That's because we built one of our haunted houses in there for the first time last year. And this part of our front lot where we are now is pretty unique because we're actually driving right in between our theme park and our movie studio. Off to the right-hand side of our tram, you'll see the backside of Jurassic World, the ride, as well as the backside of Super Nintendo World. That's our newest addition to our theme park. It's based on our biggest film of 2023, the Super Mario Brothers movie. And then the next few sound stages you'll see to our left-hand side are our first group of TV sound This is where we filmed shows like the Kelly Clarkson Show and Grand Cruise starring Nicole Byer. We're currently using these to film Bel Air, which is a dramatic retelling of The Fresh Prince of Bel Air. And speaking of Bel Air, let's hear from a couple of the show's stars, Jabari Banks and Ollie Shalanin.
Well, so what is you put egg on the cheese? You put cheese on the eggs, on the cheese, and spawn.
You might have noticed that most of our sound stages have big doors on the outside. Those are all what we call elephant doors, and the other name because they're large enough to fit an elephant through. While we generally don't put elephants inside our sound stages, those big doors are still really useful when we're loading in big set pieces or props. Now, these two sound stages here look a little bit different than the others that we passed by, and that's because these actually have their production offices built into the front here where these windows are. These sound stages were also initially built for Hairspray Live. You'll notice we may or may not see a base camp set up when we get close to our filming. Now, this area of our metro sets is what we call London Square. Just because it's called London Square, it can be any city that we need it to be. Much like with our New York Street set, even though it's called New York Street, it can be any city. However, we do have a favorite New Yorker here on the studio tour. It's my co-host, Jimmy Fallon. So here he is to tell us a little bit more about our metro sets.
Hey everyone, welcome to New York. I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. What's got mugged over there? That old woman. Tough lady. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey buddy, how's it going? Remember me? No. Just like old times. Gotta love New York City. I want you there. I want you there. It's cool, man. I was just, just walking. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Even if you make it here on the Universal lot. It's the original thing called I'm thrilled with Universal right to be back in this cover, and it's great to have you all the ride.
Alright guys, King Kongs, thanks for throwing bananas. I hope you did that. Welcome in, Christy. We are on the tram, so I won't be talking much. But welcome in. We will see some of the Fan Fest stuff down here for Back to the Future in a minute. So check out the Fan Fest stuff for Back to the Future. And check out my video I'll put out later of all the Fan Fest updates.
Tram 363D.
Woo!
How are you feeling?
Woo!
Now, I forgot to mention, and this is totally my bad, but if you're sitting in a blue seat today, you might get a little wet. Don't worry, I'm actually not sitting in a blue seat, so I'm totally fine. Thank you so much for asking.
Hey, dude,
What we just witnessed was brought to us by the incredible team at Weta FX. Weta FX is responsible for the digital effects for movies like the Avengers Infinity Saga,
Way down there,
the
so
original
bad.
Lord of the Rings trilogy, and Avatar. Some of their recent projects include Disney's The Marvels and HBO Max's The Last of Us. King Kong 363D is projected on screens that are 40 feet tall and 180 feet wide. It's one of the reasons why they built the semi-finals for American Ninja Warrior on our metro set. It's a lot easier for them to take over these streets to construct their obstacle courses rather than trying to stop traffic in a big downtown like Los Angeles or New York to do that. Now, here's to the right-hand side of our tram. We're passing by one of my favorite things we have on our tram route. It's an incredible view today. So we're going to spin our trams in there to see what a real active movie set looks like. While we're in here, though, I would just like to remind everybody, please stay seated, hang on to those loose items, and keep your arms and legs inside the tram. You know, we just don't want to drop anything or move anything around in here, and make them have to redo all their hard work on this set. Now, as you can see here on the ground level of this soundstage, we go over here to the subway station set. And on either side of the tram here, I do see some stairs leading up to what I'm guessing is the second floor of the soundstage. Now, unfortunately, sure, it's fine. This is Southern California. We need tremors. Okay, keep going, everybody.
That was the earthquake, everyone. Yeah, I'm so sorry to bother you. Can you just check on that, make sure everything's good? Oh, that's disgusting. It's gonna be traumatized. Okay, we're gonna find somewhere safe tonight. Up here by these flammable gasoline cans is perfect. I do want to remind everybody to please stay seated, because if you stand up, the shark might see us, and that is not good.
Those are done, as the name would suggest, digitally while they're editing the film in post-production. And another great example of practical effects that you've probably seen countless times throughout the years are weather effects. Now, if you're watching an episode of your favorite show and it's raining, or there's a snowstorm in a movie that you're watching, most of the time those are done by visual effects artists who are actually on set, making those effects happen to be filmed in real time. Now, I happen to be really good friends with a visual effects artist named Flash, who works here at the studio. He specializes in weather effects, and he likes to hang out here in what we call our Old Mexico sets and do fun little weather demonstrations for our trams. Looks like today he's doing a thunderstorm effect. And do you have any rain for us today, Flash? Oh, that looks awesome, Flash. Thank you. Now, to make the rain work, we use a really high-tech system that we call sprinklers. Those are hidden up in the trees and on top of the buildings. They kind of send the water into the air a little bit so it can fall to the ground more naturally. Just looks more realistic on camera that way. And then to make those thunder and lightning effects work, it's pretty similar. Flash will just hide lights and speakers around set. Okay, Flash. Yeah, don't get me wrong, it all looks great, but maybe you want to turn just the rain off now? I don't know, it's a lot of water and... What? Oh no, look out, Flash, flood! Great job, y'all. You just survived our flash flood. This is our longest running attraction on the studio tour. It was incorporated in 1968, and those effects can be seen on screen in a classic film from my childhood, Big Fat Liar.
You can't outrun the wolf, kid!
Yeah, we'll see about that.
I got a funny post!
We head out of Old Mexico. We're now heading into the Old West. Welcome to 6 Points. Our 6-point sets have been using some of the biggest classic westerns with stars like Jimmy Stewart and Clint Eastwood. In more recent years, this area was seen on screen in Quentin Tarantino's ninth film, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, starring Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio. We also do a lot of filming out here for our Quantum movies. Now, that was a time travel show, so while they were here filming, they had this area dressed up to look just like the Old West. One of the easiest ways that we can develop these sets is just by removing tons and tons of dirt and laying it out on the street. Makes this area look a little bit more authentic and a little bit less like a road that trams travel on every day. Chicken Ranch, and this is what we like to call a practical set. Now that's different than a facade because it is completely constructed on the inside as well as the outside. It's making these homes like this one to have both the interior and exterior scenes in one location. And then off to the left-hand side of our tram, you see a few homes that mark the entrance of Colonial Street, one of our neighborhoods. Colonial Street is a little bit better known as Wisteria Lane from Desperate Housewives. And last few weeks we were doing a lot of filming out there for an upcoming show on Peacock called The Burbs. It's going to be a reboot of the Tom Hanks film of the same name. And that movie was filmed almost entirely here on Colonial Street, so it's only right that we filmed a reboot here as well. And if you have an emergency of any kind, pull that cord and I'll be back to assist you, but please do remain seated on the train. Now, when they were here filming that limo scene for 911, that limousine that they brought in is a really great example of what we call a picture car. A picture car is any vehicle that appears on screen in a film or a TV show. It doesn't just have to be a car. It can be a tram like ours, a boat, or even an airplane. And picture cars are really useful when we're filming somewhere like our metro sets, even just by parking them along the sidewalks or having them drive through the background of scenes. So sets a little bit more like real cities rather than just movie sets. You are getting some really great examples of picture cars on either side of our tram here. One of my favorites that we have out here is the Orange Julius from Too Fast, Too Furious. That was the very first car that we drove on screen in the first Fast and Furious movie. I just had a different paint job in that film. And then coming up on the right-hand side of our tram here, you're going to see one more great example of a pretty recognizable picture car. This is Marion Crane's car from the 1960 film Psycho. Very fitting that it's parked here because this is the Bates Motel, also from the film Psycho. And that's the manager working today. I wonder what he's up to. Oh, wait a minute. That's not... She wasn't asleep, was she? Andy saw us. It's okay, Norman. We didn't see anything. I promise. Oh, he's got a knife. We gotta go. Norman, I knew you were trouble. When we got out of there just in time. Still though, I think we should continue up this psychopath. There's more distance between Norman and our tram. With that, we are actually heading into our quiet zone now, so I'm going to jump off my microphone for a few minutes. I will still play some videos for y'all. I'm just going to have to turn the sound down on.
Filming way over here.
sky out there, that was all hand painted onto the wall. To our tour. One of the very first sound stages that we saw today was sound stage 14. They filmed scenes for Apollo 13 at that sound stage, and then we just saw the scene that they filmed for that movie in Leslie, which is one of the last scenes we saw on our tour today. I want to thank you all so much for joining us. A huge thank you to our incredible driver, Jose, for getting us to safely. Let's give him a big round of applause, everybody. Thank you, Jose. I'd also like to thank you, the annual pass members that I have on board. If you're not a pass member and you'd like to become one, you can head up to the box office on the upper lot. Ask how you can upgrade today's ticket to an annual pass. You can come back and hang out with us again and again. Make sure you've downloaded the Universal Studios Hollywood app. That's where you'll find information including today's park hours, wait times, mobile food ordering, and more. And to purchase any of the Universal movies that you've seen on your screens today, you can visit uphe.com for more info. Come back later this month and next month, celebrate the best of sci-fi, fantasy, gaming, and anime at the all-new Universal Fan Fest Sundays. Experience your favorite franchises every event night all in one place. To find out more and to purchase tickets, visit UniversalStudiosHollywood.com. For joining us, have a wonderful rest of your evening here in the park, and as we say in Hollywood, that's a wrap.